Welcome to Extraordinary. I'm your host, Thai Legend. Today on Extraordinary, imagine hearing your mother's final words as you plummet 10,000 feet from the sky. In today's episode, witness how Juliane Koepcke transformed this unimaginable trauma into a life dedicated to preserving the very jungle that tried to kill her, and discover how you too can turn adversity into your greatest strength. The world erupted in a blinding flash. Lightning sliced through the darkness, transforming the night into a violent canvas of white and shadow. 17-year-old Juliane Koepcke was falling. Not just falling, plummeting 10,000 feet through a raging storm, strapped to an airline seat that would become both her prison and her salvation. Those words would echo through decades, a whispered mystery that would define an extraordinary journey of survival. How does a teenage girl survive an impossible fall? How does she emerge from the most brutal environment on Earth, not just alive, but transformed? This is not a story of luck. This is a story of preparation, of the extraordinary power hidden within seemingly ordinary moments. Juliane's childhood was anything but typical. Born in Lima, Peru in 1954, she lived between two worlds, the bustling city and the untamed Amazon rainforest. Her parents, German zoologists Hans Wilhelm and Maria Koepcke, weren't just scientists. They were explorers, mapping the intricate language of a world most people never see. Imagine learning to read nature's secrets before you learn to read books. While other children played with toys, Juliane learned to identify safe water sources, to navigate by starlight, to understand the whispers of insects and the warnings hidden in leaf movements. The jungle wasn't a threat to her, it was a classroom. At 14, most teenagers are worried about fitting in. Juliane was learning survival skills that would one day save her life. Her peers played street games. She learned to avoid deadly creatures, to read the subtle signs of danger in the most complex ecosystem on Earth. Her fascination with nature made her different, odd, the kind of different that would later mean the difference between life and death. Christmas Eve, 1971. A day that should have been about celebration became a threshold between life and something else entirely. Juliane and her mother boarded LANSA Flight 508, despite her father's warnings about the airline's poor safety record. The desire to be together for Christmas outweighed rational caution, a decision that would alter everything. As the plane ascended, the sky transformed. Thunder crashed like massive cymbals. Lightning illuminated terrified faces. The metal shell of the aircraft became a claustrophobic tomb, vibrating with impending disaster. Then came the moment that would define everything. A lightning bolt tore through the aircraft, shattering its fragile shell. Her mother's final words weren't a surrender, they were a farewell, a profound acceptance of an unfolding moment beyond control. The plane disintegrated, passengers spiraled into a vortex of terror, and Juliane, she was thrown into absolute blackness as if the world itself had ended. Survival defied every logical expectation. The row of seats she was strapped to acted like a crude parachute. An updraft from the storm might have slowed her descent. When she awoke, she was alone, profoundly, absolutely alone. Imagine that moment, total darkness, deafening silence, surrounded by debris, alive in a place that seemed designed to ensure her death. In that instant, you have a choice: be a victim or meet the moment with every skill you possess. Juliane knew exactly what she had to do. If you're enjoying Extraordinary, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Breakthrough Blueprint. Turn setbacks into comebacks using tactics of great underdogs like Stephen Hawking and Lincoln. Now, back to the episode. Her father's survival lessons became her lifeline, streams laid to civilization: keep moving, assess, adapt. She was wounded, a broken collarbone, a deep gash running the length of her arm, an eye injury that blurred her vision, a concussion that made each step a battle against her own body's confusion. But wounds are just information, and Juliane was listening. She followed the water, understanding that rivers are the arteries of the jungle. Each step was a negotiation with an environment that wanted her dead. Insects swarmed, humidity pressed against her like a suffocating blanket. Infection lurked in every cut, every moment of vulnerability. When maggots infested her wound, she remembered a brutal lesson from her childhood. Her father once removed parasites from a dog using gasoline. 35 maggots emerged from her arm, a moment of pure horror, a moment of pure survival. You think you know your limits, but your limits are always further than you imagine. 10 days of relentless movement, 10 days of pushing beyond what any rational person would consider possible. An abandoned hut appeared like a mirage. Shelter, potential rescue, but also the crushing realization that she might not be found. Hope is not a passive emotion. It's an active force that demands movement. On the 11th day, local lumbermen discovered her. Not a dramatic rescue, just a simple human moment of connection, of seeing another person who had survived the impossible. Safety brought its own brutal revelation. Her mother had survived the initial crash, but she had died waiting for rescue. Those final words, "Now it's all over," took on a devastating new meaning. Survival is not just about breathing, it's about carrying the weight of those who didn't make it. Juliane didn't become a victim of her trauma, she transformed it. She pursued biology, earning a doctorate. She took over her parents' research station, expanding it from 445 to over 4,000 acres. The very jungle that tried to claim her life became her life's work. Your greatest pain can become your most profound purpose. Decades later, she still asks, "Why me? Why did I survive when so many others died?" This is not a question seeking an answer. It's a commitment to living meaningfully. Your life is not defined by what happens to you. It's defined by how you respond. Juliane's story isn't about a miraculous survival. It's about the potent force of preparation, resilience, and an unbreakable connection to something larger than yourself. So here's your challenge. What seemingly impossible journey are you avoiding? What skills are you not learning? What environment are you refusing to understand? Your survival, your true survival, depends not on luck, but on your willingness to prepare, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. The jungle is waiting, and so is your potential. On the next episode of Extraordinary, imagine Juliane, after enduring the unforgiving Amazon, finding solace in the idea that survival's not just about physical strength, but also about pushing beyond our mental limits. Next week, we meet another champion who discovers this truth in the most brutal way. The Sahara awaits Mauro Prosperi, and his Marathon des Sables will test him to his core. From the depths of the Amazon to the scorching sands of Africa, one question remains: how far can we push ourselves before we find our true strength? Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Breakthrough Blueprint. 7 Days, 7 Ordinary to Extraordinary Transformations. Rewrite your story using the exact frameworks that built empires from nothing. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/EO. Thanks for watching.